So you pulled a Dave and you forgot to pre-drill your speaker box holes. Let's take a look at how to fix that up. Now previously I did mention two different types of adhesives to use in speaker boxes. That's up over here if you want more information about that. However, for this one, just use one type of glue, and that is wood glue. You do need this stuff to get kind of farther down into the cracks to secure that piece of lumber back on. Gap filler is not the right thing to use here. Now you don't have to tackle this all at once. In the case of me here, I had 4 different splits on this driver. Instead, get a bunch of glue down into that gap. Using too much glue here is probably a good thing. It's going to squeeze out anyway. Once you've got that glue in there, all you're going to need to do is take a couple of quick clamps. This doesn't have to be super high pressure or any of that. You actually do want some glue to stay in that crack or in that seam to fasten both sides. Then let it sit alone. Just leave it alone for 24 hours before you take those clamps off. Don't do anything else with that box in that time. Once you're all said and done, you can remove the clamps the next day, and you can see the finish isn't the most perfect, but after putting the driver back in, I had no further splits anywhere along there, and everything is nice and secure. The good thing is for me is I learned a lesson here before I put all 8 screws in, and I didn't get it split all the way around, because then I would have probably ended up having to replace that whole disc, and that would have been a pain, or make a brand new faceplate. If the damage is minimal, this should have no problem fixing whatever problem that you guys had or wherever you forgot to pre-drill. If you need to pick up any of the tools that you see me use in the video here, there is links to everything right down below. And it does help support the channel. If you do use those links, it costs you nothing and it gives a small percentage kickback to this channel. What's coming up next on this channel? For those of you that have been following along and subscribed, I do appreciate that. I'm going to be doing a deep dive into speaker crossovers, kind of like I did with the how-to series of putting these speaker boxes together. And this is from my experience in both building my Ugless 420 pair and kind of learning the hard way, and then seeing how somebody that knows what they're doing builds a speaker and how those drivers could perform. Now I did end up getting a totally flat curve on my Ugless 420 pair. This is also a completely flat curve with the same quality of drivers, but I'm amazed at how much difference a properly designed speaker crossover makes. It makes all the difference in the world. So the next thing that's coming up, we're going to do a deep dive, first the components into speaker crossover building, and then how to get better crossover results if you guys are looking at building your own projects. If you want to follow along, I will leave a link here to the first one in the series, and feel free to give me any feedback on something that you would like to see on this channel as well in the comments down below.